Hello and welcome to Journalism Classics with Ali Hakim. This is the eighth episode of Journalism Classics, and I shall speak about structure of a news report. I shall speak about how to structure a news story to retain the reader's interest from the first paragraph to the last paragraph. News writing, like storytelling, is an art. The storyteller must have a full grasp of the story to be told. As it is in everyday storytelling, so it is in news writing, but without the embellishments that characterize folklore. It is the headline of a story that first attracts or dispels attention. The headline of a story, therefore, must be catchy. It must be compelling. It must summarize the story in a few words, and it must relate to the story sitting beneath it. Headlines actually are like a lady's crotch, short enough to attract attention and long enough to cover the subject matter. Casting the headline was thought to be the duty of the sub-editor or the editor, but I'd encourage reporters to begin to cast headlines for their stories, because sooner or later they shall also rise to the position of a sub-editor or an editor and will need to cast headlines. Headlines do not carry full stop or period and must be devoid of words like the article "the" and the article "and." From the headline, the reader goes on to the news story itself, and it is best to retain his or her interest in the story. There are many ways to structure a news report, but the time-tested style is the inverted pyramid. A pyramid, as we all know, has a wide base while its sides taper to the top. If you invert the pyramid to stand on its head, the wide base, that is its most formidable part and the strongest part, sits at the top while the sides taper to the bottom. In applying this theory to news writing, it then means that the strongest point will be the cutting razor to the copy. It is the first paragraph sitting under the headline. It is called the introductory paragraph, or intro for short. Apart from the headline, it is the intro that either makes or mars a news copy. So it is important to devote more attention to it, make it meaningful, catchy, attractive, and engaging. Writing of the intro is not cast in iron, as you are at liberty to present it in a manner that suits every story best. While some stories are straightforward, others may not be, particularly when the story is a human interest story. In such a case, a short suspense will not do any harm to the story or to the intro itself. In some cases, it is even better to contextualize the intro. The second paragraph should back the first paragraph, and the remaining paragraphs must taper down in a chronological order until the last paragraph is written. In news writing, your last paragraph should not include words like "finally" or "in conclusion," because there could be fresh developments to the story after your initial copy. Could be 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 1 year after. As I said in Newsroom 007, a news copy must answer the 5 W's and 1 H, that is, what happened, who is involved, where did it take place, when did it happen, why did this happen and how it happened. That way you leave no question unanswered. In arranging paragraphs in a story where many persons have spoken, be sure to exhaust whatever meaningful or relevant thing a subject has said or done before moving on to the next person. Do not go from Mr. A to Mr. B in another paragraph and Mr. C in yet another paragraph and return to Mr. A in subsequent paragraphs. Use short sentences and keep a paragraph to between 20 words and 30 words so as to sustain the reader's interest. If you write a lengthy paragraph and by the time the reader gets to the middle of the paragraph, he has forgotten what you wrote at the beginning of the paragraph, you did not do a good job of that paragraph. Remember that readers usually have narrow attention span and are likely to turn to the next story if your story is unwieldy. Some of the tricks to writing short paragraphs are the use of short sentences and keeping an idea to a paragraph. Avoid the use of conjunctional clauses like adding that in your sentences as the lengthened sentences. Instead, insert a full stop and begin a new sentence. Use active words and not passive ones. I'll give an example. Troops killed 10 kidnapped suspects in their hideout on Sunday. It's better than 10 kidnapped suspects were killed by troops who raided their hideout on Sunday. The first sentence I gave is shorter with only 10 words, while the second one is not only passive, but is longer at 13 words. In essence, depending on the style you have chosen to adopt, in 10-15 words, and depending on the story, in 10-15 words, you can answer those 5 W's and H. Please always remember to keep your sentences and your paragraphs short without losing the meaning. Be deliberate about giving meaning to every sentence. For instance, he shot the victim dead is more meaningful than he killed the victim. To ensure that your sentences are crisp and catchy, avoid the use of adjectives as much as possible. Usually, they are redundant in the copy. Remember also that words have weight. The right word used in the right place has more impact than a loose word used carelessly in a long sentence. Words like much, little, small, big, nice, beautiful, good have little meaning and sound ambiguous. How little is little, for instance? How good is good? You are left with ambiguity, so it is better to drop them and be specific. In the next episode of Journalism Classics, I shall speak about some words commonly misused by reporters and editors. Kindly remember to like, comment, and share this and other episodes of Journalism Classics so that together we shall expand the frontiers of journalism practice. Thank you and bye for now.